we ready? Okay, are we? I don't know if Rita will be here momentarily. All right, good evening, folks. Okay, you're there? All right. So good evening. Today is August 26th, and it's about 6:03. And welcome to the Groton regular Board of Ed meeting. I have not said this in a while, but I think it's important for us to think out loud, is that our mission statement is for teaching and learning, where our board goals is to provide dynamic, rigorous curriculum, ensure effective and engaging instruction, and embrace excellent learning environments. With that said, I would like us to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Zay, would you be willing to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Zay. All right. Is this where you want to introduce it?
Sure.
So this is the portion of our agenda where we recognize visitors and delegations, and I am going to pass the baton over to Dr. Grenier for him to introduce.
Great. Well, he will only be a visitor until Wednesday night, because on Thursday he'll be a part of our school district. So it is my great delight to introduce the next principal of Fitch High School, Mr. Ted Kelleher. And Ted, if you maybe just come up to the podium. The students were on the selection committee, so Zay and Addie know Mr. Kelleher a good bit, and of course Susan and I were, and Chairman Watson were part of the selection committee. But for most of you, it's a sort of an initial introduction. So maybe just tell us a little bit about your background, and as I said in my email, Ted came extremely well recommended by lots of people that we knew quite well. So please,
Sure.
Few words, Ted.
Well, first of all, I can't say just how happy I am to be here. This is really a great honor to be offered this position, and I know that I have tremendous shoes to fill going into this school. But I've been working in public schools since 2001, first as a math teacher at Windsor High School, and then following that I became an assistant principal at Bristol Eastern, and finally a principal at East Windsor High School, where unfortunately I had to tell my faculty today that I was leaving, which was very difficult. But it's that sadness is again joined by just a lot of pleasure coming to this school district, and the process of going through the interviews just strengthened my resolve to come here. Just listening to all the great work that's going on and be able to join that, I'm really excited to get started. So, I'm just trying right now to get through all the paperwork and getting all that done. So, and hopefully I'll be here on Thursday to greet the kids and start meeting people. We're working on the transition now, and hopefully I'll be here as more and more as the days go on. So I'd also like to, for those of you that didn't meet her, my wife Dina came here tonight. I can't tell you how much she supports me, because obviously that needs to happen. This is a job where you're here late nights and going to the games and going to the plays and everything else. I want to become part of that. So she's definitely been supportive of me doing those things. So again, very excited to be here, excited to become part of this district, and thank you.
Were you guys part of the painting that went on? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the parking lot?
Senior parking lot,
yes.
yes.
Could you explain to the board what happened?
So the senior class is doing a fundraiser. We're continuing it from last year, where the seniors pay $40 and they have a parking lot and they get to paint it. So the past 2 days, so Saturday and Sunday, people have been painting their spots for hours on end. My legs are very sore from sitting down for hours, but yeah, it's coming along. It looks really great, so I encourage all of you to go check it out. It looks amazing.
After this, I'm probably going to swing by and just go take a look at my parking spot. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
No, the students actually painted one for Mr. Kelleher. So I showed them, they sent me a picture
Yes,
of it.
you have your very own spot.
There you go. I can't wait to see it.
Big Fitch Falcon F in the middle of this really beautifully painted
Yeah, really looks
parking
cool.
lot. So that came along really well. So we will see you maybe as soon as Wednesday, but certainly Thursday.
Absolutely.
And we're really looking forward to you joining us, Ted.
I look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Ted. Are there other visitors or delegations? Right, hearing none. This is a part of our agenda. Oh, sorry, you're moving us through.
I see. You know what, here's something. Speaking of the paperwork.
That is a card presumably for Ken. Can I also put that over something?
All right, so this is the portion of our meeting where we hear comments from citizens and other subjects of concern that lie within the jurisdiction of the Board of Education. This is the portion of the agenda where the board welcomes comments. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit written comments. Presentation should be related to matters pertinent to Groton. Board members will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and cannot respond during the comments from citizens portion of the board meeting, and citizens should make their presentations from the podium and state their name and addresses for the record. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment?
Portia Bordelon, 159 Shenecosset Parkway. For full disclosure, I'm also an RTM member for District 2 and a parent of 2 children in the Groton public school systems. First, I'd like to say welcome to the new principal. That's exciting to see that we have somebody starting and has such great credentials coming on board. Also, a new student that's part of this wonderful meeting. It's great to see a familiar face from Westside. So I'm excited to see that we have both, areas represented, and that's really exciting to see. So a familiar face. Thank you. I want to start off by saying that I'm also very excited to hear about the lunch being approved for the schools that had higher need for Title I service, which were Claude Chester, Westside, and Catherine Kolnowski. What this means to the community is it's unmeasurable for the people who barely qualify for free or reduced lunch and are trying to, on average, pay for 2 children about $120 a month for lunches. And I would have to say that I'm already seeing comments circulating where people are feeling the bit of relief and excitement. So that's a wonderful thing to see, and I'm glad it finally came on board. With that being said, there's always room for improvement, and I would like to consider and also continue to look towards opening up that availability to students in the high school. There is a high number of Title I and reduced students at the high school that feed in from these areas, and having that available to those students at the high school would only improve the availability for students in this district and make it a sound district. Like they say, if students don't have to worry about paying for food and can eat, they can learn. Not only that, it also allows the district to not have to eat the negative funds that we are left with at the end of the year for people who really truly can't afford it. Looking at the start of the new year, we know that SBAC scores are probably already out. Maybe not released, but at least I did receive a letter stating recognition for one of my students and to come out and honor that. So scores are out. With that being said, I hope that we are starting early on this year, really looking at those scores and looking at how we're going to make sure we're meeting the achievement and closing those achievement gaps and meeting those students now, not the middle of the year or waiting to the test and starts later. As we know, again, Westside tends to fall between the 2 middle schools. As excited as we are about the 2020 plan and the new the new high school coming on board, it's not happened yet. and we still have some time here. So we still have to make sure that we're supporting the kids at the levels where they're at. And Westside traditionally falls below scores on certain grade levels, reading and math in particular. And so I'm hoping, knowing those scores that you have in your hands, that we are looking to make sure that the proper support is delegated to Westside and other elementary schools in the district where it is needed. I'm also hoping that we have established a plan on the water levels that are not needing attention, but they're still producing lead, making sure that we are checking them, I don't know, quarterly, yearly, what's our plan to watch those action levels so that they do not go above. Because if there are amounts that are showing up, we should be monitoring them to make sure they don't go beyond a certain point. So I'd like to know and hope that we are carefully monitoring that. The field house and grounds. A lot of potholes at the high school. They've been there for many years now. It would be nice to have some of those closed in and really take care of the grounds that we currently have. I know we're so excited about new schools, but I can't stress enough about maintaining the facilities that we have and making them welcome. Weeds and things. Catherine Kolnowski, the entrance, when you drive past there, the whole front garden by the sign, it's a mess. It could be cleaned up. It's curbside appeal. It's a brand new school. And the potholes, and the paint, and the chipping paint around the buildings and around the grounds. The field house, people have asked and said, we're no longer painting it at the end of the year and spraying it and tagging it up, then let's cover it. It looks like a mess. The field house could use a coat of paint. It's not very welcoming. Supplies. In years past, I've been here and spoke about the lack of supplies, students having to photocopy, teachers photocopying reading novels at the high school. We have a new principal up there now. I hope he's aware of the supplies or lack thereof or the need for supplies. Department heads should be fully aware, and I just hope that no student in our district is having to read from a photocopied paper and actually has a novel or digital novel available to them. Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
I would like, if possible, to have those different issues. I know we've received communication on a lot of the things that were discussed, but if Sam, Mr. Kilpatrick, could later in the meeting during his report address some of those things, that'd be great. Thank you.
We're on to the student representative reports. I'm not going to say welcome back because we've seen you, and actually for the public to know that you guys have actually been throughout most of the summer, our committee of the whole meetings and our regular board meetings, and we really appreciate that.
All right. First, I would like to introduce Xavier Quito. And he is the junior president and involved in almost all the clubs, a lot of Fitch High School clubs. And he's...
That's a lot of clubs.
Yes, a lot of them. So I'm very excited that he's joining me as a student representative, and welcome to the Board of Ed. So Zay is going to start it off.
Well, first, thank you, Addie. And second, so updates from the last meeting. The junior class of 2021 had a car wash July 28th. Freshman orientation was last Thursday and Friday, August 22nd and 23rd, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. The freshmen were able to take tours around Fitch, see all the sports that we have, including, I believe there's 31 sports we have around at Fitch. They were interested in looking at all of them, the clubs that we have. They did a walkthrough from 8 to 8:30 in the morning on Friday to sign up for clubs and sports that were happening. And boys and girls cross country had their first official practice on Thursday, August 22nd, and football had its first official practice August 23rd. Thank you.
And I already mentioned the parking lots a little bit, but on Saturday, August 24th and Sunday, August 25th were both painting days for the senior class of 2020. So they came, they bought their own supplies, they showed up, were assigned their own parking spot, and had their designs ready. And We all painted. Again, I encourage everyone to go. It's super colorful, which I think is better than all the gray that was at the end of the year. I personally am not finished, but eventually we'll see. And as of now, there will only be one more painting day on Sunday, September 8th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So that's when I get to finish. And anyone who has not turned in their parking permit request form will not be allowed to paint a spot until they do so. And there will be a second lottery deadline on September 5th for students who didn't turn in the first time and would like to own a parking spot and paint it. All right, thank you.
I couldn't see all the parking spots that you guys had done because the silly staff members, they were parked in them. But I did get to see the principals, and that was really cool. But I'm looking forward to kind of going up and seeing them.
And Fitch has also inspired the Marine Science School to paint their parking spaces now. So I went by and I happened to see those the other day. So that's nice.
All right, so we're on to the student, yeah, you're not the student. I think you're the superintendent, and the reports.
Well, let me start with school opening. We heard a little bit about the community eligibility provision. Thanks to Jay, we got some nice feedback. I know at Westside, the principal explained that the students will have free, healthy breakfast and lunch provided. And I know the news has spread at Konowski and Colchester. I actually made an automated phone call today to explain to parents this new system, and I think it's going to be really terrific. And it was just, as I said to the parents, everybody knows that proper nutrition is really key to good learning, and so I think we're going to be in terrific shape there. And to the extent that we can expand it, we certainly will. Many of you came to the convocation this morning. It was a kind of a focused message from most of the speakers that we have our work cut out, and we are going to do what needs to be done to make this the kind of school system that really embodies our hopes and dreams for the children. Our teacher of the year, Lizzie Ann Johnson, also was honored and made a really terrific speech about the importance of books and media specialist personnel. And I just love the fact that she said that reading books is important because it allows us to have empathy for others. And I think nothing could be farther from nothing could be more true than that. I think that's pretty much it for the opening of school. And as you heard, Mr. Kelleher, although he was only hired on Friday, he will begin on Thursday, and he'll be here all day Thursday and Friday. And then the agreement that I have with the superintendent, his current superintendent, is that he'll go back from a day here and a day there, and he'll come to us. And it's unusual that somebody could get here that soon. He'll actually be joining us after 6 days, which is six calendar days. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit about the CIP, and we had a Finance and Facilities Committee meeting last week. And there are a number of things on the CIP which ultimately will formalize. I spoke to Jay about this. The report, and Sam will talk a little bit about the report from regarding air quality at Northeast Academy. There are recommendations there regarding the HVAC system, heating and ventilation system. We've got some options that we'll talk about. One of the things, at the end of this year, the portables are going to be removed from the middle schools. And so the question is, we requested to see if moving those portables could be part of the cost of constructing the elementary schools. And unfortunately, the Arcadis guys checked with the state, and the answer was no. It's not inexpensive to move a portable. It's scores of thousands of dollars. But on the other hand, those buildings, how much are they approximately worth?
Around $300,000 apiece.
Yeah, so these are, and on top of that, these are facilities that after next June, next July, we're going to need for storage. And so we're going to include those in our CIP request. And then at least initial discussions about the possibility of retaining Mary Morrison School for potential overflow, and retaining SB Butler as a site for robotics. If that comes to fruition, we would need to invest, the town would need to invest in a roof for SB Butler and asbestos abatement there, asbestos remediation. So the CIP is going to be a fairly broad list of items, and then we'll see as it goes through. There will be decisions that are going to need to be made by the town, but I think we have a good handle on that. The third thing I want to talk about is actually, I'm going to have someone come from the vast audience, Nikki Saloon. Nikki, if you could come up. Nikki is the director of our Treehouse program, and has done a wonderful job. This is beginning of your third year?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
for the last 2 years, the board members, many of the board members will remember Alicia Stripling. And
Yeah.
so Nikki took over and has been a very able director of our Treehouse program. But I just asked her to kind of introduce the Treehouse and kind of tell us where we are, and then a little bit about the summer program. So welcome, Nikki.
Thank you. And thank you for giving me a few moments to promote our little program. Just some background, I don't know how far back you guys go, but when I came, Alicia had told me that Treehouse actually started as EPSAC, which was the Easter Point School-Age Child Care Program, and it was started by a student teacher who was doing a project for a practicum. And my understanding is that it went really well, and they continued with the program even through the move to Kolnaski School, where it became known as KSAC. And she took over around that point, and I think it had about 10 students in it total, give or take a few. And she really promoted it and put a lot into it, changed the name to Treehouse. They opened a site at Mary Morrison, and that's about when I came into the picture as the assistant director. And since then, we've opened a site at Northeast Academy, and then last year we just opened a site at SB Butler. So we have 4 site schools, but we provide services before and after school for all the elementary schools, coordinating transportation with the bus company. The school secretaries are often involved in that with us. And we currently have anywhere between 220 to 250 students enrolled in our programs. In the summer program, which we run a full-time summer camp out of Kolnaski School, we have about, this year we just reached 100 students, or just over. And when I started 3 years ago, my first summer, we had 55 students. And that's all without advertising. We now have a member of our staff who has like a side business in marketing, so she's created some beautiful flyers and pamphlets for us, which I forgot to bring. Darn. And
We'll give them out.
they're going to be at all the schools. I'm trying to get them everywhere. We're starting with the elementary schools, but it's also a great service for people who work in the schools. If their students are enrolled, we'll provide care. We start at 6:30 in the morning and we go until 6 p.m. at night. And every year that I've been here, we've had significant growth in our enrollment, and I think that is a testament to what we're doing in the programs. I think when this started as EPSAC, it was more like a latchkey program. That was kind of what was going on in the late 1990s. Since then, the whole take on out-of-school time, as it's called in my professional arenas, has grown to include a lot more enrichment-based activities, and that's kind of where we've grown. We reformatted our summer program to accommodate our large numbers, and that worked really well, but it's started with our school year format. And what we do is we're an enterprise fund, so everything that we make pays for everything that we do. And we started last year on the TLI days. We try to do one fun field trip for each of the sites. They love to go bowling, and that usually works because whether it rains or not, we can do it. We did the bowling, and then we bring in enrichment from outside sources. Most recently, in this past school year in summer, we've had a ukulele instructor come in. We purchased 15 ukuleles. We did a talent show at the end of summer, and some of the kids actually played the ukuleles in the talent show. We've had fitness classes, art classes. We have student teachers and first-year teachers that are coming in for a stipend rate and doing like a fun math club or a science club. Some of the staff that we have are paras in the school, and a lot of them have very interesting backgrounds. We have a marine biologist on our staff, so she's come in and done a lot with us as far as exploratory. We're not teachers, and we're not trying to pretend to be teachers, but my platform is social emotional learning. That's always been big to me. I spent 25 years working with children and families, and we take that platform and then add all these other pieces in so that what they're learning in school, they can kind of explore without the schoolness in it. And a lot of times what we're hearing is them making connections and applying what they're learning to what we're doing. Like, oh, I did that in my class, or we did this. And a lot of times, if they're more advanced than what we're doing, the student will then be teaching the rest of us what they're learning in school. So it's just a nice full circle continuity of care type program. And this year, we also introduced in our summer camp counselors in training. It's a goal of mine to kind of get into the middle school somehow, especially with sixth graders really not being ready to be home alone yet. And our summer camp program goes up to children age 12 or entering 7th grade. A lot of times they're bored with the little kids, so we created this counselor and training program, and it's for 7th to 9th graders. They got camp CIT t-shirts, and they were given duties, and they had to journal the things that they did. And we're doing this hopefully to kind of create people, because we love to hire from the high school, if you know anybody who's looking for an after-school job. If you know people, I mean, we're trying to work with these students now to give them an idea if they're interested in education. You know, this is a great way to become part of a school outside of being a student. So that's kind of where we're at in a nutshell.
I wanted, the Treehouse program is oftentimes something that we like to kind of like hear about and whatever, and so it was slated for a committee of the whole meeting, which I felt was, it's nice just to have you come and so that it's on the camera and so that families can hear about it as well. So I'm really glad that you were willing to do that.
Thank you, yeah, anytime.
Is there any questions? I'm looking like I'm going to cry, but I'm going to sneeze, sorry.
I thought I really moved you.
Well,
It's that social emotional stuff.
I can tell you, it is really one of the bedrock programs in the district, providing early morning care all the way until school starts, and then after school until 6. And when there are snow days, we're on the phone together. It's really quite an operation, and to think that it's gone from a handful of students to 250 is really quite remarkable. And yeah. we have been pushed over the years, as some of you know. Last year we started as sort of on a hope that it would work out well to expand it to SB Butler, and this year it worked out pretty well, and this year we anticipate even better. But as Nikki said, it's a self-sustaining program. It pays for the salaries, pays for the supplies, which include computers for children. It's really quite a program.
It's done really well, and I'm happy to be, the director of it now. It's, it's a great service for families. I think that they really feel thankful for it, and I think that, getting into the middle school will be helpful. Some of the parents have expressed, what do we do in 6th grade? So, we'll get there. Especially when we're in one school.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki.
All right, and update on the Fitch High School post-graduation party.
Well, I talked to two very important people today. One, young woman named Addie Clark. And so we talked a little bit about last year, the participation in the post-graduation party was really extremely low, like 20-something students, about 10% of the class. So Addie then mentioned that Mrs. Rogers, Claire Rogers, was probably going to head up the party. So I know her, so I called her, and she has already spoken to Addie, and she is very receptive to potentially changing the party to perhaps a post-prom party. As Ms. Rogers said to me, she will support whatever the students really want to do. And so we probably need to get the junior class involved in this as well. But I think I think the party was a great idea, and it has been running for post-graduation, has been running for many years. But now it seems like students are very interested in graduation, going home, having dinner with their families, and that sort of thing. So maybe the time has come to talk about some sort of post-prom type thing. So Addie and Claire Rogers and the students will get together, and we'll get back to you.
Do you know how long it's going to be before you guys sorry, Rita, before you guys will have a decision? Because my sense is that probably sooner than later, right?
Yeah, so what I'm hoping is I can work with Claire Rogers and my class council can work together and hopefully do some sort of survey or poll of the students. I'm thinking like first couple months, but we'll figure it out pretty soon. And so we can just understand what the students want. But from my understanding and the students I've talked to, it seems like a change is probably what they want and what the student opinion is. So as soon as possible, I think, to get running on that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Rita?
No, at graduation, there were a couple of teachers that I spoke to that had seniors graduating, and they all commented how much that they would prefer, none of their children were going to the after party, but would much prefer an after prom party. And I know Guilford and Branford and a couple of other towns have already switched over. So I think it's a great idea.
Great, thanks. And that's it for me.
All right, thanks.
I had one question about the CIP. I've had people have speak to me about possibly retaining Claude Chester and not Butler and not Mary Morrison as a site for robotics and for overflow. And I know there's issues with all our schools, but if that is possible, it's just that is such a wonderful place for a school.
Right.
And also, if down the line, if we ever had some type of universal pre-K, that would be a wonderful location for it. So it's just a thought. I don't know if we're going to have a COW about this, but maybe.
I can tell you, and maybe Sam could weigh in a little bit, as a site for robotics is problematic structurally. As a site, you're 100% right.
The location.
The location it would be terrific, and maybe as an overflow school, I keep looking at all the building that's going up in this town and housing that's going up, and so it concerns me, and we don't have the final. We won't have the final number, official number, until October 1st, but. Mrs. Ellis tells me that the population is increased pretty significantly.
Great.
I know at the middle school it has, no surprise with the brand new middle school coming on. But even at the elementary, this will reverse a trend that's been several years. We certainly will not have a decreased enrollment this year. So, but I agree with the location, and we certainly need. It would be my strong recommendation that we have some school that could serve, keep it up and running, and so we will do whatever we can to do that, and we'll participate with the town and make a good decision.
Great.
I think I'll hand off to Susan. with
Yeah,
your
no, I'm just
permission.
writing
Okay.
down a note. I'm on it. All right. The Assistant Superintendent, Susan, how are you?
So we had a great convocation, and so good to see so many board members, so many town councilors, and I think an RTM rep or two just supporting us. And I think you could hear the buzz that teachers were really excited to get back. Mike and I were able to go to the one Groton Middle School picnic. So both West Side and Cutler had a picnic at Washington Park, and you could just feel the energy. People were just so excited. And talking even about an equity workshop that had happened last week. So we've talked a lot about the 118 teachers who worked on professional development, but I'll have to figure out the number who also did professional development. We've had them work on curriculum and report cards, but also a lot of PD too. I was able to meet with elementary, middle school, and high school teachers that have done that work in the past couple weeks, and they will be facilitating the PD tomorrow afternoon when they meet in their departments and share the work and get feedback from their colleagues. So that was very exciting. We have Mark Brackett from Yale coming to talk about social emotional learning, and we've purchased books for each of the school, emotional literacy in the middle school, and creating emotionally literate classrooms. And we'll be talking to the principals about next steps. Part of, after he does his keynote, we will have people meet with in their building level with their principals to talk about next steps and takeaways from that presentation and where we need to go with that. So I'm looking forward to gathering their feedback. Tomorrow, Mark Brackett, departments, the next day, Wednesday, will be school-based. And so the schools have really done a lot of different things. One of the things that was mentioned earlier was the SBAC and SAT data, and while it's embargoed to the public, and we should be getting student results back individually for families in another week or so. This was pretty early that we received them back this summer, this early. And principals have that as part of their plan to be looking at the data and start those conversations along with all the other things that they do to get ready for the beginning of the school year and committees. A lot of our elementaries have open houses on Wednesday afternoon to have the kids come in and see their classrooms. So it's a very busy time, but a very exciting time.
It looks like you're feeling better as well.
Yes.
Good, I'm glad. Hello. Hello, Mr. Knight, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
So attachment number 1 is our object code summary. On our budget of $77,438,090, we currently have a projected unexpended of around $63,000. We're still early in the year, so many lines are at budget. We've made adjustments for things that we know, but at this point, everything's pretty much at budget.
Any questions about that? I would hope that we'd be at budget. No,
Norwich isn't.
well. That's why I'm so very thankful that we are who we are and that we have such a phenomenal administration staff that support our students. So, go on.
All right. The health insurance report, we didn't get this until Friday, so that's why it wasn't in your packet, but you all should have it here. It came in so this is through the month of June, so it's for the entire year. As expected, it came in higher than budget, 121% for the month, but year-to-date, it's 94.2%. When we were going through our budgeting process, we were estimating around 95%, so we hit that pretty closely. We originally had estimated our our health insurance reserve net of corridor was going to be somewhere in the 3.3 to 3.4 million. I think based upon this, it'll be more like 3.5 to 3.6 million, which is a good thing because we're anticipating bringing it down throughout this year So the higher it is when we start, the better off we'll be at the end.
A quick question, Ken. For June, the 121.4% over the budget, was it similar to last June's?
It's a very good question. Yes, last year, May and June they're very similar to how it came out this year. When the health insurance utilization, it has a curve to it, and over the end of the year and through the summer, it's higher. That's when the teachers and participants have time to take care of some of these things. Plus, they also know that towards the end of the year that it'll roll over to a new year, and so their HSA amounts will refund come July. So, it's a process, and it's been very consistent over the past couple of years.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Kilpatrick.
So I've got three things to report on, the first of which is Groton 2020 projects. You may have already heard that regarding the elementary schools, the sewer realignment at Cutler Middle School has been completed. The grass has been reseeded, and so hopefully that'll be restored as we get a few rainstorms here in the next couple of weeks and ready for use. And the fuel tank at Westside Middle School has been removed, so those early projects at the middle schools continue. So the staff is going to continue to meet with architects to work out the details of things like the details of flooring, door hardware, all those sorts of things. So we'll be meeting with them over the next course of the next month or so. In addition to that, the Groton Middle School project continues to grow.
Literally and figuratively.
If you came to convocation this morning, you probably saw some photographs that Mark took when we climbed the four stories to the top of the building, and a spectacular view from the fourth floor, no question about that. And when the leaves begin to fall off the trees, I think it's going to be even more spectacular. But regarding the middle school, the next thing that's going to be taking place is the topping off ceremony, which is the final beam that gets laid into place. I had an email this afternoon. Mark and I were looking for the beam. We were told that the beam is here at the annex for Board of Ed members, staff, and students to sign before it goes, but Mark, me neither. I didn't find it either, but it's here somewhere apparently, but we'll find it and we'll let you know where it is. So maybe it's late arriving. Did you see it?
No.
Oh.
I was going to ask you a question. If you could, if you're finished with middle school. Are you finished
Yep.
with the middle school?
Mm-hmm.
My question is, can you just give me and maybe the public, like just a refresher about the timeline for the elementary school? You know, like exactly like when we're waiting till the students are no longer at Cutler and Westside, or are we starting before?
Okay.
I know we
So-
did the sewers and everything, but I meant the other part.
No, the actual construction of the new elementary schools will start next spring, March, April, and that time, depend upon the weather, of course. And they'll set up screening and fencing and so on and so forth, so they can start the project in a safe way. Some of the portable buildings may need to be moved at that time to allow for some extra parking, or because, for instance, at Westside Middle School, the new school is actually going to go in the parking lot.
Right.
So we'll have to make some arrangements for parking. And so that project, those two projects will start in the spring of next year. Both staffs at Cutler and Westside are aware that they have like 2/3 of the year to go before we start this project and kind of create a little havoc within the buildings. But the thing I was going to say about the topping off ceremony, it is August 30th at 12:00 p.m.
I think we all got it.
Did you all get that?
This Friday.
Yeah, it's a nice ceremony. It's sort of first there's the topping off, and then there's a ribbon cutting. So this is an important ceremony.
Okay, second item on my list are water testing results, and here to report that all the test results that we've done to this point have been posted on our website, and you can find it by going to the Buildings and Grounds section of our ledgerschools.org.
I say that
I
all
live
the
in
time.
Ledger, I'm sorry.
The other ledger.
I could be run out of town for that.
Groton.
GrotonSchools.org.
GrotonSchools.org.
Thank you, Susan.
Could you speak to the question, and I think that this is sort of what Rita was asking as well. Could you speak to the question that Ms. Borderline gave around what is the testing that was done? What's the cycle that you're going to be on for even the ones that have the non-actionable items? Is that correct?
Our last bit of testing we did were for the areas that we found lead in the water, and those were done this past spring. So those things were just taken care of this past spring.
Okay, so what would be the cycle for testing?
That hasn't been determined yet. I'll be working with Dr. Grenier to determine exactly when.
In my thought is, we're going to go back to the state water official and get a recommendation.
All right, fair enough. And then that might be a great thing to sort of add on to the website, is that once we know that, whatever that is, so that's common knowledge.
We'll post that too on the same site.
That'd be great.
And the third item that I wanted to report on is the Northeast Academy indoor air quality situation. Fuss & O'Neill engineering firm has completed their study. They've given me a final report. They've made lots of recommendations. Some of the recommendations were for us to do some maintenance on some items that we can do in-house, but a lot of the recommendations are beyond what we would do in-house, and I'll be sharing in more detail all of those recommendations at the next Facilities Committee meeting. But the one thing that we did do immediately, well, actually, we did one item that's on their recommendations. We actually started it before I got the report, and we're actually I wouldn't say controlling, but we're making adjustments to the humidity levels in classrooms through our regular HVAC system presently. So we've made some adjustments and added some thermostats and humidistats in classrooms in certain sections that had more serious concerns in other areas. So we've been able to keep that in check to a certain degree. So that's been going well up to this point. And the second thing is, when the report came in, one of the recommendations was to clean the ductwork at the school. The buildings were built with ductwork in the buildings which do not have access. So Fuss & O'Neill was not able to actually see what was in the ductwork, so they couldn't determine whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. So we hired Dependable Ductwork to come in, and they were here for about a week at Northeast Academy and cleaned the ductwork a couple of weeks ago. So that's been completed. So that's one item that was a recommendation that we've already checked off the list.
Thank you. Any questions? All right, moving on to committee reports. Policy, I see that we have some policies for first readings.
We do indeed.
Okay.
And much of that, Susan will talk to it, what was done with Erica and Dennis worked very, very hard on the electronic devices. So we're going to be talking about that. We did have a month off, but we meet on Tuesday next week. So we're still busy. And we'll have four first readings. Yes.
Thank you guys for working as hard as you do. That you're really very diligent to getting these policies to us for us to look at. Next is curriculum.
We'll be meeting in September.
You'll be having a meeting in September?
In September, correct.
Yep, okay. And that's great, thank you. Yep. Finance and facilities.
We met last Monday, August 19th. We reviewed the CIP proposals for FY '21. We also touched on the advertising guidelines and fee structure for sports banners, but I think that's probably going to also have to go to a committee of the whole.
Yeah, next one.
At the next one. We discussed some budget function transfers, which will also,
Tonight.
oh, okay, that we will discuss further tonight. We discussed the agreement with the town over the robotics program site and storage facility. We went over the school year tuition rates, which we will vote on tonight. We reviewed the DoD supplemental impact aid account, and we received Sam's NEA air quality study.
Any questions for Jay? And so our others, I can speak to the negotiations, is that we are sort of getting kind of far behind on getting dates together for, because our next contract is admins.
So we had, technically, we had our first, or the lawyers actually had the first. You know, let me reach out. I don't know the next date.
Okay? That would be helpful.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. I just looked over to Rita, but Rita, would you like to talk about Learn? I apologize about that.
Last Friday, I had an executive committee meeting, and the new director, Mrs. Kate Erickson, discussed her entry plan, what she'd like to do at Learn, and also the goals for Learn. Then we had a building committee meeting for the Ocean Avenue Learning Center, and it already needs to be expanded. So the second floor, I think we'd like to move the older children, the 18 to 20-year-old population up there. And so it'll probably be, it's more renovation. So it'll be an ongoing committee. We thought it was ending, but it's not. So, but that's a good thing. They have a long waiting list for students that would like to come, and it's very successful. And I think one of the highlights is that the paraprofessionals that started last January when the academy opened are all still there. So that is a real positive, because oftentimes, paras sort of come and go, but I think because it's such a beautiful place, the students are happy, the teachers are happy, the paras are happy. So that's good.
Thank you, Rita. Any questions for Rita? The next is the Board of Ed, Town Council, and the RTM Liaison, and the next meeting is, September 4th? And Jay, you have agreed that you would lead the charge for me? Okay, great. So we did not have one in August because of the timing of that meeting. Most of us were actually not available. And the next is the Board of Ed, AGSA, and GEA Liaison, and that probably would happen in October.
I think there's a date, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just don't have the date in front of me. And then the last two, Gretchen, are yours, which is the trail and the Groton Scholarship.
Trails, I need to reach out and track them down again. They sometimes,
No pun intended.
no. And the Groton Scholarship has not met yet, I don't believe. So those are upcoming.
So I think the presentation that we received at the convocation was really cool about the Groton scholarships, and was really kind of talking about, she wanted to make sure that the teachers were aware of that, because lots of teachers are not actually reaching out about that foundation.
I don't think.
Oh, that's the foundation. You're right, that's the
Groton
foundation.
Education
Right.
Foundation.
Yep,
Right,
yep, sorry.
there you go.
I apologize.
No problem. It was very interesting to learn that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was excited about that.
Right, so we're going to move on to the action items. So this next one is the consent agenda, and so all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. So I will take a motion for the approval of the consent agenda, which would include the regular meeting minutes and the approval of gifts.
So
I have a
Second.
I have a first and a second. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the of the motion on the floor, which is the action items, which includes the meeting minutes of July 22nd, 2019, and approval of gifts, please say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Motion has carried. The board would like to say thank you to United Way, which has made a donation of 200 headphones and earbuds for use with the standardized testing to the Groton Public Schools, and also to Union Baptist Church, who's made a donation of $825 to be used for the 2019-2020 school year for the breakfast bag program at Claude Chester School. All righty, we're moving.
I was just going to ask about that, because now won't Claude Chester be receiving breakfast and lunch?
That's actually for, on the weekends and for.
Oh, they have
like when we
weekends.
have vacations, so that the principal
Really?
has organized that so that she makes sure that her children have nutritious meals even when they're not in school.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad you
You know
told
what,
us about
you know what,
this.
Sue, thank you for, because I had the exact same
Yeah.
question, and so this is, that actually probably, that's a,
It's really heartwarming.
Yes.
yeah,
As was their drive for coats, their
Yes.
coat drive.
yep.
And every child got a new coat.
Everyone.
And she's looking forward to doing that again this year for the children.
That's really awesome.
And that was also with the community.
Yes.
Elks.
Elks,
The Elks.
right, the Elks
It's amazing.
help support that.
All right. So I'm going to move on to new business. Jay, would you be willing to read the motion for number 1? And I know that probably, I don't know if you and Mike have the information, but if you wanted to also begin the discussion once we get the motion first and seconded, that would be great.
So I move we approve the 2019-2020 tuition rates.
Can I have a second for that? Second is Rosemary, and discussion.
Well, I'll jump in if you want, and then Ken and Jay can jump in. What we did for the proposed tuition rates is we increased the rates by the rate that the budget was increased, 1.24%. But Ken looked at the list and realized some things were missing from last year's list. So the first thing on the item you see here is pre-K. We never had pre-K there before. Coincidentally, we had someone ask, and so we realized it wasn't there, and so we've included that. It's a half-day program, so that's why it's a half-day elementary. And then there are 2 other programs in the special ed, the fourth one down. We just never had a tuition rate for the ABA program, both at the elementary and secondary levels, and the multi-disabilities program at the elementary and secondary levels. So we did a little analysis, literally looked at the teachers, the supplies, the equipment, and divided by the average number of children in the programs, and came up with those. So this is a little bit more complete list, a little more thorough in terms of looking at the programs that we offer. But I must say, it's rare. Occasionally somebody will leave us and they'll say, can I continue? So at least we have a number. But it is not a number it is not a tuition amount that is typically paid. And of course, it would go to the town. This would be revenue to the town of Groton, which would be fine, and we'd be happy to take in the revenue on behalf and turn it over to the town, but it is rare.
Any other questions about that? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion on the floor, which is to accept, to approve the 2019-2020 tuition rates, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion has carried. Jay, I'm just going to keep you, since this is a finance and facility thing.
So, let's see.
For number 2.
The motion to approve is a first reading of policy P5141.
Can you go to number 2?
Obviously, there's a new agenda than the one I received today.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
What is your number 2?
Yeah, the one that arrived by email is policy 5141.31, so I don't know when that
Sure.
was.
No, I think Gretchen did.
Yeah, Gretchen gave me,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know when
Yeah,
that.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get that
I
amendment.
think there, literally, yeah, sorry, there was
Oh, that's okay.
a modification.
Okay, so I move to approve the budget function transfer for the fiscal year 20 Fitch High School site budget.
Can I have a second?
Second?
No, there are some financial information from Ken.
And this is what was this discussed in your financial facilities?
Yeah.
I'll let that get
Do you want to orient the board a little
Sure,
bit?
let me orient you to this schedule. This is a schedule of the approved site budget and then a proposed a reallocation of the site budget. Column A this is the approved site budget that's in our books right here. Total 274,950, broken down by function. Column B is a proposed reallocation of that same 274,950. Column A was built back in October, November of last year. In June of this year, Joe Arcaris had taken a look and knowing that some costs weren't needed for this year, wanted to reallocate the costs. And so that's what this proposed column B is. To take you through some of the bigger changes, world languages and mathematics both have large reductions. Those are in textbooks. In both those cases, we were able to purchase textbooks at the end of last year that will cover that. So that's why those aren't needed in this year's site budget. Function number 1117, which is IB, both DP and MYP training. There was more funds allocated to that for that training, especially for the NYP training at the school, at the high school, in that that's not covered by the Expect grant. The Expect grant covers the middle school, not the high school. Unclassified, these are supplies that when you order them, you don't necessarily know what function they're going to go to. Like you order copy paper, you don't know how much of it's going to go to art or language arts, and so we buy that in bulk. And so we're looking to increase that by 10,000. So in total for regular instructions, which is the function codes that begin with 11 or 15, we're looking for a reduction of 16,150. Then for support services for pupils, which is function codes that begin with 21, we're looking to increase that by 11,900. That's to pay for tests, pupil tests, primarily PSATs and SATs for 10th graders. And then general support services, which is the school admin, looking to increase that by 4,250 to pay for some of the costs of next year's how do you pronounce it? The NEASC visit that we're going to have next year. And so that was the reason for the reallocation of the site budget.
Jay, do you have anything to add in terms of the discussion that your committee had?
So I just want to confirm, what we discussed was that we're not seeing, for example, a decrease in what was actually spent for world languages or mathematics, but rather that these were prepaid with funds from the previous year.
Correct.
So because the question came up, Katrina and I were concerned that this meant that we just weren't spending the money, but it had been sort of pre-spent. So this is a way of reallocating.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion that's on the floor to approve the budget function transfer for the fiscal year 20 Fitch High School site budget. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose?
I'm abstaining.
And one abstention. Gretchen, would you be willing to read the motion for number 3?
To approve as the first reading of policy P5141.31, physical examinations dash students.
Can I have a second?
Second.
That's from Lee. So discussion?
So this was just a minor change that if a student has trouble getting the physical exam from their own physician, that we as a school will support them and help them make arrangements to go to one of our school-based health centers to help support that.
So we no longer, Dr. Blayfeld no longer conducts the physicals for the high school?
I don't know that he is still conducting physicals. I know he is our outreach, our
Medical
support
advisor.
medical advisor, but we really do have school-based health to support, and they have many children will go and get their annual physicals with their own doctors, or
Yes.
in the military, they'll
Right,
go to.
right. But he
receive their
used to
care.
do them when they couldn't, but maybe he doesn't.
Well, we have school-based health now at the high
Yeah.
school, the two middle schools,
Yeah.
Claude Chester and Catherine Kolnowski. And I think we're going to be getting another one at Mary Morrison.
We are, and we're just waiting for the money to be put in. It has been funded. We've been asked not to make too much of a public announcement, but it's official. No, I mean, we can say it, but the staff is not there yet, so I don't want to say we have a school-based health center at Mary Morrison, although we are in the process, Sam is in the process of making sure that we allocate space for a clinician and for a nurse practitioner. Yeah, it's going to be now we will have 5, and it's a huge benefit for the children. That's what I'm saying.
Gretchen, could you just repeat the list? I missed one.
Where the health clinics are?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
the high school.
Middle school.
Both middle schools, Claude Chester, Catherine Kolnowski,
Okay, that's what.
and now Mary Morrison, or soon Mary Morrison. Yeah, it's fabulous.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the first reading of the policy P5141-31, physical examination / students, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion has carried. Rosemary, would you be willing to read the motion for number 4, please?
A discussion and possible action regarding a first reading of policy P4118.5, acceptable computer network use and regulations, R4118.5, acceptable computer network use form, and it's attachment number 5.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Motion. Yeah, I should read the motion.
Oh, I thought you read the motion, sorry.
I said motion, I think.
Yeah, you have to read the motion right below that. Do
Oh.
you see?
All right, to approve as a
Thank
first
you
reading of
for being
policy
On top of that, I appreciate that.
P4118.5, acceptable computer use and regulation, R4118.5, acceptable computer network use form.
Can I have a second on that motion?
Second?
That's from Lee. All right, and discussion.
So Dennis Kolkla, who is our Director of Technology, met with the policy committee. He's actually been working all summer, working with Erica, working with me, looking at any new law that has come forth. And we've basically streamlined and updated a lot of the languages and also cross-referenced it with law. So where you see the red are just really language changes more than anything, to kind of make it more current. So it really has to do with the computers, the network, the internet, and what is acceptable use considered for whether it's in the employees or the students. So we used to have several different policies, and we tried to really incorporate them into the one.
Look how different the language is from
I know.
2013 to now.
And one of the things that we were talking about was you could probably do this every single year.
It'd be
And it will be, because we got to, what was it, what are we up to now? The fifth I can't remember.
5G.
Yeah, we're up to
Yeah.
the 5th now, and we didn't even have that in here
Yeah.
when we were talking about it, so.
Rita?
I was just curious why you no longer have the teachers fill this sign. I mean, it seems like it's all crossed off.
Because
Right. Well, I think that we review this with new teachers when they come in, and so and HR also reviews it for them, and it's just the expectation.
I don't know. It's nice to have something in writing, though, that's signed, then you know that they really understand it.
Yeah.
Because it is important if, you know, I know there was an issue at NFA a couple of years ago where
What's that?
a student teacher, you know, even our student teachers should be signing something like this.
I will check with HR, but I believe that we had 2 different versions, and HR uses one, so I will double check.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
It's
that,
just a first reading, so.
right, and I also think that that clarification could come in the board notes, just to say, yes, the HR has that sign, and it'll be part of the board packet or something like that. That would be great. That'd be super, thank you. Gretchen?
All right, like, say they're on their lunch break and they're on their phone, which they're using the wireless in their, you know, browsing Amazon, is that?
it's all in the next.
It does say incidental use. Well, this policy refers to our computer system, but let's say they're on their lunch break and they're using a computer to read the newspaper or something. The policy does call for incidental use, so long as it doesn't disrupt their work.
And you're ahead of yourself, because that's actually the next policy, but that's a very good, that's a very good question. That's a,
It's clairvoyant.
yes, that's
Or maybe
a,
I read them earlier and forgot.
you are right on, it. So, Lee, may I have you read the motion for number 5?
Yes, a motion to approve as a first reading for policy P4118.4, appropriate technology use and regulations, which is R4118.4, appropriate technology use.
So this must have been very well written, because you see very few changes.
Right. I need a couple
second.
things. I want to put a second on the floor for this one, and I will I forgot, I was so excited about this conversation that Gretchen moved us to, that I forgot us to vote. What we can do is, maybe we can do both of them at the same, I'll pose the vote at the same time, but or do you guys want us to stop the conversation once I get a second for this one, number 5? And then I'll stop it and I'll go back to number 4. It's whatever you. Joan, what would be easier for you?
Get your second and then go back and vote on it.
And you know
I
what?
figured you'd say that.
I will do that. So can I have a second for the current motion that's on the floor? I got Rosemary. All right. So, thank you, board, for your patience with my silliness sometimes.
So 4118.5, and Susan is going to get a little clarification on the
Yes.
signing.
Yes.
Right.
But that's the policy for a first reading that's in front of you.
But Joan, my very dear friend who keeps me in line just like you do, is that we did do a vote on the number 3, the physical examinations.
We did.
Yes, okay. But thank you for always keeping me in line. It's a hard job. I'm glad you're up for it. So I am going to go back to the motion to approve as a first reading of policy P4118.5, which is acceptable computer network use, and regulations R4118.5, acceptable computer network use form. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Abstain? Motion has carried. We are now
4118.4.
We're at the 41.8.4, so and that has been read. We have a second. Can I have discussion?
So I wanted to be able to say that this was written in 2013, It was done by a whole committee with Karen Breyer at the helm.
I was
And it
on
was
it.
so well-written that we went through it with a fine-tooth comb, and you can see there's very few things that have changed in it. So, but I just really wanted to go through all of the technology to make sure we were updated in all those areas. When 21st century becomes old language, it's a little scary. So we tried to look for language that would represent more, since we're, a quarter of the way through, kind of, or a fifth. And I'm just going through it. One of the things, even the change in terminology for cellular network and mobile phones.
Got rid of MySpace.
MySpace to
Right.
Instagram, and so, like I said,
3G,
very,
4G.
very few changes were made. This was really well done,
Nice job, thank you. Thanks.
even though it's a few years old.
Yeah.
It still
So,
works.
is there any more discussion?
No.
All right, all those, I'm then gonna, hearing none, I'm gonna move us to the vote to approve it as a first reading of policy P 4118.4, appropriate technology use, and regulation R 4118.4, appropriate technology use. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? The motion has carried. Rita, would you please read number 6, please?
Motion to approve as a first reading of policy P 6141.3271, voice assistance devices.
Can I have a second, please?
Second?
All right.
So this is actually something that Dennis found as he was going through some of the CABE work, and there is a concern about these voice-activated devices in the classroom. And like the Alexa and the Google, and who's listening on the other side? Siri. So at this point, we're just not even going to be having those in the schools. It's unauthorized, believe it to be unauthorized. We feel like it could infringe on privacy. So at this point, this is the stance that we're taking, and that's based on some of the work with the CABE lawyers,
It
too.
could be a FERPA violation.
Right.
We don't know who's listening to the information about students and others, and so some of us have taken Siri off our phone. Well, there's a way to turn Siri off, unless you actually manipulate the phone a little bit. But yeah, this is quite an interesting phenomenon, and you're right, Dennis, who is
He's so
really
thorough.
up on and thorough.
And the privacy, he
Yeah.
has to authorize and make sure that any new software product or any software that we're using follows this privacy act, this law that we have in the state of Connecticut.
In
And
the-
if they don't, we really can't purchase it.
These listening devices clearly don't.
Yeah. So.
Gretchen?
Okay, sitting here, I have my phone and I have my computer, both are, I'm not currently using, but they could, how do we turn that off?
So is it about the policy that's on the floor right now?
It's only about listening devices.
Right.
This policy.
Can our phones listen?
I'll show you later.
Any other discussion about the policy? Rita?
I just have a question about, for hearing impaired students, do they have voice-activated devices?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, they do have hearing aids and those kind of things that assist them, but I don't believe that this would impact them at all.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
You're right, that was a good
And the
question.
PPT could override this.
Oh, okay.
If there was if there was a need, like you say,
Yeah.
we'd
That's
be able to make an exception in that case.
Good.
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a very good question.
Zay, do you have a part of the discussion?
About the privacy, I forget what she specifically called it. But, so last year, for Spanish, does it also include like foreign languages that we have at Fish? Because my teacher used this specific website to record our voices so she could take it home and do it
Right.
for finals. Does it also include that, or is that?
It may or it may not, but I know that teachers actually have to get permission, and so they have to let the technology department know if they're going to use something, whether it's free or paid for. And then there is a process in the state of even Google having to give permission so that they will follow the law in the sense of, making sure that your privacy is protected.
Okay.
So anytime students work or their voice or pictures, we really have to make sure that they're secured and that these companies aren't using them elsewhere.
All right, thank you.
Good question.
That was a great
Yeah, that's a
question.
good question.
Excellent question.
All right, any other discussion on this first reading?
No.
All right, hearing none, to the reading, the motion is to approve as a first reading of policy P 6141-3271, voice assistant devices. All those in favor of the first reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? The motion has carried. So we're now at the part of the agenda where we talk about information and proposals. And so Gretchen, do you have any communications or comments or letters that you've
I
received?
had several teachers this afternoon contact me and say the convocation was wonderful, that keeping it short allows them to get to their schools and their following afternoon, the rest of the day, and get to that sooner and get more done. So they were very happy. I had one teacher say they really loved the way we started the schedule this year. So that's pretty much the conversations I've had this week. It's just, they're very happy that things were short so they could get down to their work, and they liked the start of the year schedule.
Great.
Mostly so that they could get their AP test. They don't lose 2 or 3 days of school leading up to the AP tests. I don't quite get it, but there you have it.
Thank you, Gretchen. Jay?
Really no letters or communications. I attended all the meetings that the rest of us attend, as well as participating in the committee for the selection of the new high school principal. And just a clarification, I was not laughing at the chair's delivery of that last vote, but rather that we're now out to the 4th decimal point to
I
the
was
right
thinking the
on
exact
our
same
policies.
thing. I was actually thinking, and actually that's why I thought you were laughing. It was not just my delivery, but also the fact that we 4 digits out. But you can do that.
It's that fine of a line.
All right. Andrea?
I have a lot of things.
Awesome.
Okay, let me make sure everybody can hear me, because when I watch this on television, I can never hear me, so I'm going to make sure. The first thing is I met with an RTM member regarding how we process curriculum, and it was a wonderful thing to have all, Susan, this is to your credit, to have all of the flow chart and the curriculum handbook and all that sort of thing. It really clarified how we thoroughly vet curriculum. I too participated in the selection of the high school principal. It was a wonderful process, and I loved that the students were able to be part of that. I went to the MYP Equity Summit at Avery Point that Kathy Wilson and Leslie Forbes and Amy Murphy had facilitated and brought together. It was a wonderful experience. I thought that I was probably the most unencumbered person there, until they really made me look at myself, and I astounded myself with what I found out about how I think about things. It was a wonderful experience, and I'm recommending it for all staff. I went to the MYP picnic today. It was at Washington Park. Again, kudos to Amy and Kathy and Leslie. It was a wonderful blending of the spirit of the new school. You could really feel the coming together of the two schools, and what a wonderful merging this is going to be. And then, of course, today I went to the convocation, and I want to once more give just wonderful congratulations to Linda Branch and her crew. I know every school is going to look like the high school looked today, so Sam, to your credit, and especially to Linda Branch and her crew. And I wanted to say what an inspiration it was at particularly your talk. And now I'm not going to be able to say that. How do you say that cathedral again?
Oh, Schaufler.
Okay, you can say that. That cathedral. And I wanted to just repeat a wonderful story that Dr. Grenier gave. I looked it up on the internet afterwards just to make sure that I got the fullness of it, and it was wonderful. There was a man walking through that cathedral, and he came across a man who was cutting stone. And he said, "What are you doing?" And the man said, "I'm cutting stone." And then he came across a man who was laying stone, and he said, "What are you doing?" And the man said, "I'm laying stone." And then he came to a woman who was sweeping the floor. And he said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm building a cathedral for the glory of God." And that's what I want to see us do with this new middle school. I want to see us build a middle school for the raising up of children. So that's what that's about.
Glory of rearing children.
The glory of rearing children. How fabulous is that? Then I'm going to tomorrow's professional workshop, professional development day, and I'm looking forward to that. I understand that's going to be fabulous. And in my own personal life, I went to the Coast Guard Academy convocation, and I saw the cadets come together as one, just as we did today at Washington Park. And the final thing I have is, this weekend I went to my all-class reunion at my high school in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. I brought this is my high school that I went to, and the classes that were represented began in 1935. One man was 103 years old.
Holy man.
We were together. We sang the alma mater, and not one of us had to look at the words.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy man, that's fabulous.
Andrew, thank you. Rosemary?
Let's see. I was able to go to a workshop about defeating unconscious bias, which was very valuable. I've also, at Yale. I'll let you know. I was also, I attended the Sound Community Services Board and fundraising meeting, and went through Narcan training and certification through GASP. So I have my own Narcan thing. And Community Speaks Out and GASP put on a paraphernalia update, and I was very interested in going because of the vaping issues and the way that vaping paraphernalia can be hidden in plain sight. You know, it was very educational. Plus, I also got invited to go to the president of University of St. Joseph to her summer reception at her summer home, and got to meet Coach Calhoun, which was wonderful. So, and he looks younger than the last time I saw him.
Wow.
So,
Thank you, Rosemary.
And was his assistant, Glenn Miller, there?
that what?
Was his assistant, Glenn Miller, there?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, because
No.
he's a
But
product
UConn,
of Fitch High
yeah.
School. Oh, Fitch High School.
Oh, I didn't know.
All the way
Fitch.
through.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Lee?
I went, first of all, I went to the equity that was last Wednesday and Thursday that Andre went to. It was incredible. I had no idea what I was going to learn. I learned a lot. We both learned a tremendous amount. And many of the teachers and all the principals were there from West Side and Cutler. And there was one para who, this was open to anyone who had anything to do with Groton, and the para was brilliant, wasn't she? She was. She was just, it was I hope we all get a chance to do this. It was that good. In addition, Thursday, not last Thursday, but Thursday before, there was not a hearing, but a meeting of the public building, the permanent public building, and it was about putting solar panels on all of our new schools.
Let's hope so.
And there were 30 to 40 people there. They have never had that many people at a meeting. There were people that I'd obviously never met before. It was just wonderful, and it sounds like that group, may find a way to make this happen. Yeah. Wouldn't we be thrilled?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Lee. Rita?
That's wonderful.
Isn't it?
I'm so much
Isn't it?
in favor of solar panels. The convocation was very inspiring today, especially Liz Ann Johnson, our Teacher of the Year.
And
It
wearing a
was
cape.
just, she had on her superpowered cape on, and when the other librarians in the district all had on their capes and they stood up, I mean, it was just, and everybody enjoyed the convocation. Every Kim's little talk and Dr. Grenier's, I think it was all uplifting, and I think it'll be a great year. So,
Thank you, Rita. Yeah, I look forward to those so very much. So the one thing I really did do, go ahead, Gretchen.
Oh, I wanted to remind everybody how lovely the boys' choir that sang.
Oh, the choir
this
was
morning.
really good.
They were
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
outstanding
they were
and
perfect.
so adorable.
Yeah. So I was able to attend, and Lee, you were there as well, last Thursday to start the kickoff of the Kiddo, the One Book, One Region.
Yes.
The second step players, that I believe that they're out of Norwich, but they're a troupe that go through and they perform skits primarily on sort of mental health awareness and also just some very uplifting, but also some really sort of powerful sort of messages. So I did do that, and for those of us who have not read the graphic novel Kiddo, I really encourage you to do it. It's a graphic novel, so it's a quick read, but it is amazing, specifically if you read about the author's experience. And so, and Andrea, I think you and I had just been talking about that. Jay, I just want to say thank you very much, Rita. I know that you responded just about saying about the good news about the West Side and how well that went, and I'm really glad that you went to that, and it's really exciting to hear about the excitement of this district because we're rocking it. But I also just want to make sure that the public knows that that the fact that 2 of our board members went to an equity workshop that's sponsored by our district, but that we ourselves are going through a strategic plan, and that we have had lots of conversations about understanding social economic status and how do you do alignment of our schools. So I just wanted to let people know that we ourselves are taking the business of moving the district forward seriously. So I just wanted to make sure that we have a shout out of our hard work around that.
Just a small point, I don't know if everyone knows that those are Isabel Stevenson's colleagues. That's the same group. That's Connecticut Center for School Change.
Oh, great.
And they are very interested in doing some more work with us. So.
Because we rock.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I didn't physically attend that West Side, but I just, I was remiss in not mentioning that communication. It just, a caregiver
You did
wrote.
mention that.
Yeah, okay.
But passing that along.
Yeah,
it
just
meant
that they
a
were
lot.
so impressed with the
Yeah.
free breakfast, free lunch, but also, this is a child who was very anxious about going to
Yeah.
West Side, and then once they saw the offerings there, completely turned that child around.
Great.
Yep.
Great.
So,
So it's, Lee?
Just quickly, the Hey Kiddo, the author is going to be there, I can't remember the date, but it's either September or October, at Connecticut College, free and open to the public.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Bring your book and get it signed.
Buy it there.
I think the public library would be a little problem about having that book signed. But I'm moving us on. Do you have another?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on what Lee said about the para that was at the equity experience. And that was that I encouraged her to call Lori Lapine regarding that program that we have about following up and becoming entering into a baccalaureate program.
Great.
Yes. So I'm hoping that she hears this again, because
Yes.
she and I know that all of our paras are should be looking into that.
Super. All right, so it's fall, and so we have a lot of meetings that are starting, and they are here. It looks like it's a pretty complete list, along with the known meeting dates so far. But my sense is negotiations will probably be in there at least once. That's my guess. And we'll make sure that that gets noted on the board notes. Any other suggested agenda items?
I don't have that, but September 16th, should it say special curriculum, or should it really say what we're doing? I mean, it's a board function.
Yeah, so special curriculum
Curriculum
makes sense.
sounds vague to me.
Right.
So.
Are we having it on the 16th?
You know
Yes,
what?
it was in our notes.
Sorry, we have a little problem.
Oh,
That's the retreat.
the what?
September 16th, that's that first night we're going to do 5 to 8.
Right.
But Rita's point is that it's not very, it's vague. 'Cause it says-
Even the COW, I mean, I really think it should spell out exactly
Right.
what we're doing.
No, we'll fix this.
Yeah.
We canceled the COW.
Right,
And I think we're going to have to cancel the special curriculum,
right,
That's to Rita's point.
Oh,
yeah,
because the 16th is the board retreat. I
Right.
apologize.
right.
So
And it's gonna be a
we'll
long
fix
one.
this.
We'll work around that.
do we know where that's going to be?
Yes,
Central
in
office.
room 11,
Yeah,
but with food.
maybe 4
It'd be a working dinner, Ernie food.
All right. Any other special agenda topics?
Motion to, yes.
I have a motion to adjourn on the, it's been second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose, abstain, motion is carried. The end of the meeting.
My turn.